right, sorry, that was a good riff. Regardless, so every episode with you, Torrance, I love your segments, and I love talking to our listeners. I love talking to people in our community on the show. So this segment is called "I Dated Someone Who," and Torrance. I love the if you're a Black '90s baby, maybe even early 2000s baby. I love the radio show style, like specifically Steve Harvey, the Strawberry Letter. And Steve is definitely problematic, but it's funny. So this is our version of that. So we want to give homage to, Steve and what's his name? Some Strawberry. What's her name? Some Strawberry. Whatever. What's her name?
Yeah.
Black lady. Anyways,
don't get me lying. Yeah, but yes.
And shout out to all the Ricky Smiley.
OG.
Who's the other one?
Tom Joyner.
Tom Joyner really is the GOAT.
Right back at you, Tom Joyner. I wanted the cruise. I wanted to do the cruise.
Have you been
I ain't
on
gonna hold you. I know I want to. I know I'm young, but I would love to be on the Tom Joyner cruise.
I could see you being somebody's little like young plus one or some 50-year-old nigga.
Yep. Let's have a good time. Yep.
Owns like a tailor suit shop in Los Angeles, and y'all niggas walking in with all white linen suits on and shit.
Yes. Everything is, all expenses is paid for. That's what I want. Like, take me on the time. Oh, I don't really do the other cruises. I just do the time. I only do the time. Those other cruises, I don't know. I only do the Tom Joyner cruises. That's the only cruise that I ever do. Let's go.
You walk up. I'm on the Jenkins tab.
Exactly.
I'm on Mr. Jenkins tab.
Yeah. Just put it to the room. Charge it to the room. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that?
Yeah, room 308, Jenkins.
Yeah. I'll have the steak. Yeah. The Oscar. Yeah. Yeah. The steak Diane. Yeah. With the crab meat and the lobster. Actually, both of them. And keep it coming. Just Mr. Jenkins. You know Mr. Jenkins. Yeah.
Yeah. He's
a regular. He's a regular.
You eat next to Keith Sweat and Kim.
Yeah.
That's Kim. That's Kim. That's Keith Sweat. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So, anyways, this segment, I dated someone who. Torrance.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, every episode, this will be the segment that I do. So, if you have any thoughts or you want to write in about someone who you dated so that we can talk about it, we would love to have you. We're going to send that info over for you to send those questions in. So this one goes. So I dated someone who was amazing in every way, except they were financially irresponsible. They were sweet, thoughtful, emotionally available, but constantly broke because as soon as they got money, they would spend it. New gadgets, designer items, random trips, and making rent was always a stress. He would say money comes and goes and everything would work itself out. But now I'm stressed and rethinking if I can build a future with him. How much should financial habits matter when everything else feels right?
Thank you for that, listener. So I think habits and standing are two different things. Financial standing and habits, right?
Okay.
I think if you have a little bit of money, you're a teacher, you are, a bus driver, whatever, a lower income kind of deal. I think that is maybe a problem and an issue. And that same person can also be bad with their money as well.
Yes.
So let's assume this person, let's go to two scenarios. If this person doesn't have a lot of money and they're bad with it, yeah, that's a problem for you if that money they make regardless isn't enough. And I'm assuming that's so because say you make 50 grand and you're like, you really need to be strict with your money because you only make 50 grand and you really don't have your check to check.
Yeah.
That's a problem. I understand that. But say you make 100 grand.
But that's what I'm saying. But they're saying making rent is a stress.
Right. So, but some people think more money, more problems. I've made six figures before.
True.
And can still be broke. So
that's true.
And making rent can still be an issue. So I think if you don't make a lot of money and you're bad with your money, that's a double problem because then you got to figure out, is this person, maybe not motivated in their career? Is it just a career where you'll never make a lot of money, like a school teacher, but you're a great school teacher. You work hard.
Yeah, but you're amazing at what you do.
Then that's a conversation because some people, some women, want somebody that makes a certain amount of money because that can match their lifestyle. Whether you agree with it or not, that's their right. And there's some. So I think that is a real question you gotta figure out for you is even if they fix their habits, if I know at tenure they're only going to make say $70,000 as a math teacher, middle school math teacher, you got to reconcile with that. You know what I'm saying? Do you love this person? If you combine your life, will it make more sense? You know, and maybe expenses will be amortized between both and it'll work out more. That's a thing. If they make, 6 figures, 120, 110, 105, whatever, 200 even, and their expenses are just ridiculous. They're eating out every night. They're Uber eating every night. They're buying clothes. Like food, specifically in New York and even LA, anywhere really. Food, going out, getting food, getting drinks can be legit half of your budget if you let it. The variable stuff.
1,000%. I just deleted Uber Eats because I was like, I can't do it. I just can't do it anymore.
It's crazy.
It's absurd.
Crazy. So but I think that's an easier problem to fix because you come in, you combine your life. Hey, dog. We
can't be doing this. We can't be. Yeah, we can't. We gotta
eat on the weekend. After we've been hungover, or we Uber eat when the weather's bad, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
With this kind of question, it's like it depends on the person, right? Like, sure, they're financially irresponsible. They're doing these things. They're doing X, Y, Z, but they also are only concerned about themselves, right? At this point. Right, like they're only thinking the financially, the financially unwell person, right? Like it's just them, it's their lifestyle. So maybe they're like that chaos, right? I'm not saying you coming in could change their world and they're going to automatically stop doing what they do because a habit is a habit. So it's going to take a lot for them to break that or whatever. I think it really is just depending on the person. Be like, is this person worth the hassle to have them unlearn all those things, right? Like, what does it look like to put somebody on a budget who don't know what a budget is, right? How much pushback are you going to
or doesn't even want to be on a budget? Some people know.
Never. Yeah, exactly.
No desire.
Yeah. Again, one of the things is that like, money comes and goes. If that is your mindset, that money comes and goes, which is, again, not a bad mindset to have, completely, but when it comes to like, I might not make rent this month because I booked this flight to XYZ place. You gotta live. You gotta have a place to live. You gotta have food to eat. The necessities are important. So I don't know. Money matters, bro. Like, especially in this capitalistic, like, I can't fathom the idea of being with somebody who can't and won't take care of like true responsibilities, like the necessities, the necessary things. Because God forbid, we decide to live together and you want to go and buy this expensive, you want a new car. So you go and buy the most expensive thing they got on a lot. Now you paying $800, $1,000 for a car note. And now we sitting around trying to figure out how the hell we about to pay rent and eat food.
Yeah, I think it goes to even more in more practice, because I've dealt with this before in previous relationships where financial goals are really the big problem. Because that stuff is, I think, relatively easy. Like, all right, bro, stop doing this. We as a team, we'll stop eating out as much. We'll stop. We don't need that car. We won't buy those shoes. Whatever. Relatively easy. When you're both are at a similar financial place and have goals.
If that person, like you said, is willing to,
Right. But the big thing though is financial. Like, you really combine lives. Say you're engaged, married, whatever. It's the timeline of certain goals. Like, for example, some people are like, I want to have a house by 30. I want to own a house by 30 or 25, 30, 35, whatever. Or within 5 years, I want to own a crib, own a condo, or whatever. And maybe their partner is like, well, that would be nice. I would love to have that. But at the same time, my money is going towards, say, like my aspirations, or it could be a small business. It can be like my profession. I'm a comedian. I'm investing money to go on the road or publish, make podcasts or whatever it is. So some of my extra cash, that $300-$400, maybe I would be saving a month. Maybe I'm putting that back into inventory for my business, or I'm using that for travel, or et cetera, et cetera. So that extra cash that someone that maybe just has a 9 to 5, that is, hey, this is my job is my goal, and my goal is to be financially free and retire at 55, 60, whatever. And everything else is just like extracurricular fun to me. So they don't have that different thing that is taking cash. So all their extra bread, all that extra bread after they put in their 401k and investment stuff is going to the house fund, or it's going to the new car fund so they can buy it cash, whatever it is. So I think that's the biggest problem, because that's a fundamental thing that we're different. If I'm the one that's strict about buying this crib and you want to be a fucking singer or a comedian or a nail shop owner, and I'm like, that's cool, but I want to buy this crib in 5 years, that's going to constantly be a point of tension that I think is the real problem in this.
Because the money will go to, and again, it goes to the thought of like, this is what I want to do. You can't tell me how I can and can't spend my money that I make, right? Like, again, the lack of alignment, because it does sound like, you know, and I don't know if this is like a conversation that has happened or whatever, because it sounds like it has, because you're like, he says money comes and goes and everything will work itself out. But still, I find if I'm coming to you with like actual financial concerns about your spending habits, and I'm like, hey, I want to do this thing with you, but I'm a little concerned because of this. Money comes and goes. It's fine. We'll always figure it out.
I'm kind of like that to a degree. Once again, I'm someone who's full-fledged into pursuing their dreams. So I've spent a lot of money, and essentially, to be vulnerable, spent all of my savings the past 3-4 years that I accrued in my 20s to follow my dreams. Moving across the country, publishing projects of mine, some of which I'm starting to get money back from, right? So it's like, there's a pro there, a reason, my first special, I make money back from that every month. And I've made my money back from that at this point. So now it's all revenue.
Revenue coming in the pocket. Love that.
Whatever. So, but at the same time, I think when I just had a 9-to-5 and I was just doing that thing, I was really good about saving. I would just automatically in my Acorn account, whatever, boom, every whatever 1st or 15th, put $500 in there or whatever, and I would just look up. Oh, I got $4 or $5 grand here. Just I forgot about it, and I'm pretty structured in that way. But when I have a purpose and a thing that I want to go to, that automatic thing kind of halts a little bit. And because when you're going for a thing, you can't really be 85% into it if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You kind of have to be all in, and you'd hope that that process to getting to that point is as quick as possible, so that you can get back to being financially secure. But sometimes take that risk, you kind of have to put it all on the table and put the chips all in and figure it out later. So I think it's also to this person, the time in which each person is in their life. So it's the fundamental deal of like, are you someone who's really structured in your goals and et cetera? But then also what time you're in your life. Because like I said, for me, all things well, I love saving. I love seeing money in the bank. I like nice stuff. I like nice shit. I like car. I like having a nice, I've never had a bad car really that I've bought. I like dressing fly, but I also like thrifting. I don't mind getting something thrifted. I don't mind getting, it's the same body type, but it's 3 years old. It's 4 years old. So it looks the same, but it ain't brand new off the lot. I've bought cars brand new, and I bought cars used. And so it's like, it's a way you can go about looking fly and being cool and not just spending the money just to spend it. So I think a lot of it goes to that. And I was on the plane yesterday, and this podcast clip came up, and there was this young lady who seemed successful. She's like a journalist, a financial journalist. And the host asked her, what's the minimum that someone needs to make for you to entertain being with them? Because money was really important to her. And she said her number is like about 250, black lady, or at least
250K.
Yes. And that comes up a lot in podcasts, a man has to make a certain amount of money. And I would never shame somebody, because that's your truth. And whether you're single or not, you're probably single if that's your minimum, because
your threshold, because
you're not looking at the math of the reality of who's in this world making that much money. Think about it. $250,000 a year. Go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, and I just read the statistic the other day that like, I think black professionals that make over 100K, it's 6%.
So exact to that point. To that point, it's like people who make 250. There's some entry level lawyers, big law lawyers that barely make 250. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They might make 210, 220. But you know, even that. So someone big law, not just lawyer, big law, big money. Of course, they eventually will make way more than that. But like fresh out of law school, late 20s, early 30s, boom. You got those people. You got doctors. You know, you got financial analysts,
Wall
whatever.
Street, Wall Street. Yeah.
Wall Street got like real hardcore bankers. And like, that's about it when it comes to like the vast majority of occupations. So you're excluding the, maybe the sales manager, the executive account executive who makes, 175 or 150. You're excluding the principal, of a school. You're excluding, the professor, this dude, this person, guy or girl who, went to law school as a doctor and they are a history professor at, a good school. Like there's so many high level people that you're excluding off of this like random kind of arbitrary number. And
I'm wondering if it like, I need 250 so I don't have to work no more, or they're like, I just need my man to make 250.
No, she seemed like a hardworking person. Now, maybe I could put the clip on here, in post. Like she seemed like a hardworking, decent to do person. Like I said, she was a journalist. She was like in the financial space. So I'm sure she does decent for herself. She might even make 250 herself or close to it. She might make way more. I don't know. Even let's assume she does. Even it still, I think if you have a professor at Fordham or NYU who makes 180 and is a professor in his mid 40s, to just say I would ignore that person because they don't make the big, because
the threshold.
I'm saying she said that was like her bare minimum,
and that's what I'm saying.
That was a minimum. That's the only reason why I'm bringing up that point of like, if I'm a grown man making 150, I feel like I should be able to step to damn near any woman in the world. To be honest, not because I deserve it, because like if I'm passionate about my job and I'm good at my job, some jobs are not all based in money. Trust me. Look, I used to work in sales. I was a sales manager and I made easy six figures most of my late 20s. And then leaving sales, being in entertainment, that has not always been the case. No. And I'm more experienced than I was, then than I am now.
Than you are now.
More life experience, more technical experience. So that's not always been the case. So even now, climbing back up through a different role in entertainment and getting back to that number, it's just disappointing sometimes when I hear people say things like that. Once again, I'm not like shaming this lady or whatever. I think we as a people need to shift how we look at things, because if she would have said you need to be a certain expertise in your job, then that would have made sense. Like, all right, if you're in your 40s and you're not like a manager or like a leader in your role or like a leader in your space, a thought leader, I can't fuck with you. Then I'd be like, all right, bet. Because once again, I could be a professor somewhere making 180, 190, 200.
Living life.
Like, all right, what you want me to do, girl? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a truck driver. I'm a hustler. I'm a truck driver, and I own my own truck, and I might make 200. What you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? I might own a coffee shop that's successful, and we might gross, you know what I'm saying, $500,000 a year, but I might only take home $100K. But I work for myself and make my own hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many successful people in this world that don't make $250,000 that are like really sharp, really smart, that it kind of bothered me, not in the way that I was offended, because if someone that thinks like that, I don't want to date you anyways. It was more so disappointing that that's probably a rhetoric of a lot of people in dating today.